producer Not Nice, who was born Ainsley Morris. Not Nice, you with us?
Yeah, man, I'm there.
All right, awesome. So before we head to the commercial, you were actually giving us the details as it relates to how Portmore Empire was formed, how it came about, and how Vibes Cartel actually became a part of the Portmore Empire. So let's continue. Deva Brat put it in a song, and people wanted to be a part of it. They say, yo, is this the new crew? How we can join the Portmore Empire? So that's where we were.
Yeah, so never brought it to Vybzkartel and he made it, bring it to the world. Like, yeah, and get it out there. So it's not like he became a part of the Portmore Empire. It's like he became the Portmore Empire. He was the emperor for the empire. So I really, so it's not like when they bring it to him, he say, oh, you know, it's not nice, or just bring it to him like you and they bring an idea to you. So it's not like doing it. Me never, I say, yo, yeah, man, take my idea. Me never really care. I just music, man.
That was more your focus at that point.
Yeah, and I was really there as the producer. We really I produce everybody, so it's not like me that and they have no credit. So the empire was formed there, and you know, originally some of the members, you know, end up never really get pushed to the forefront. So, and then that was Roman really meant. I remember the rhythms in the order of which we put them out. The first year when I actually get the break, well, maybe like 6 or 7 months, I had like consecutive number ones. Watch your friends, ramping shop, last man standing, get wild, mama, like really pass and gas, I say everything that starts happening so fast.
So. And speaking about Last Man Standing, because, you know, following that epic face-off between Vybz Kartel and Movada at Sting 2008, you were at the center of all of that. Some people even joked about hearing the song in there right as Sting finished. You know, like, how did that happen? Take us through your eventful morning of December 27, 2008. The record time street hit.
All right. After, you know, we're at Sting and, you know, after the clash, I lived in Greater Portmore. So when Sting finished, Cartel and come uptown, I go Greater Portmore. So it was easier for me to reach home, you know, traffic and everything after Sting. So I reach home, I'm going to sleep because I'm tired. So, I get a call. Cartel a call. I say, yo, what may I do? I say, yo, I sleep. I say, yo, oh, me say I sleep. And people say, clash tie. I say, no, man, like, yeah, you know, people are say for them artists. People say Movada win. People say Cartel win. People say clash tie. So I say, yo, him not comfortable. To go sleep knowing people at the clash tie, so we need to link in my studio right now. I say, all right, we jump up and reach our studio. I say, yo, reading, you want reading to sing one song for now? I say, all right, but a lot of people in our yard, they know DJ just let sing, so be a crowd outside, everybody out there and talk about what happened. So I go in the studio and build something fast.
So you build the rhythm from scratch?
Yeah.
In the morning there?
Listen, I feel the pressure there for me because I say, all right, I'm going to build a rhythm now. Like, it's not like, say me the home I know, say me I build a rhythm, I'm build it and when I start, you know, sound good, and me just dash it that and build one next one, you know, sound good. Me not have that time there. So, I'm going to the studio, but once I'm in the studio, it don't really allow people to go in the studio go try this track. Once work I go on, everybody has to stay outside. So put the rhythm together. And he came into the studio to really see the progress I rhythm. So we didn't know like 30 minutes him stepping in the studio. And he said, well, load up that. When he said load up that, put me the rhythm not done, me not sure for this. My friend say load it up, me can't behave like me not have no confidence in my work. He say load it up and me just bounce it out and load it up in a Pro Tools same time. And just go in and do it and start sing. You know, where do you get this man from? So it's like to me have the rhythm normal. When the song done and up on the rhythm, it's like the rhythm was half and the song I make half and now it's a whole. Everything just makes sense. Now I say, yo, this song want mix. I say, no man. Any how me fix it, that's the mix. I say, alright, I say, yo, imagine me 15 minutes in a studio with it. I go back outside. And I just go and put it together. And he say, as a matter of fact, open the door. And open the door and catch the door. And call everybody. A piece of excitement in the yard in the morning. But I sleep I kill me. Yeah, me did a sleep I back. So I just fix it up and expose him. I say, yo, put this on my thumb drive. I put it on his thumb drive. And I say, yo, he must go home kind of tired. So he must go home, email it out. Me let me see what I got me at. By me leave Havendale to reach a Portmore song bus. So imagine from Havendale to go Portmore. That can take a hour. And the song bus by me reach a Portmore. Me barely get to sleep. Me barely get to sleep to my phone tired.
No, based on what you're explaining, also not nice. The Vybz Kartel's work ethics, and then you also as a producer, talk to us about that kind of pressure and how you deal with it. Because here it is, you have to be creative, you have to think fast, you have to find the rhythms, you have to come up with it because you have a Vybz Kartel who can churn out 4, 5, 10 songs in a day. How did you deal with that type of demand?
All right. Well, first of all, I wasn't used to that kind of in my work, like in my brain I work overtime. And he always tell me, say, I have great man reach and keep her not attained by sudden flight. Yeah? Well, that means all the company over talent truly that. He always tell me that. And he must say, one day I got understand what he means. So he always tell me, say, me sleep too much. Yo, you sleep too much. So I was at his house one night after I left the studio and me and him did a reason. Go some music and I drop asleep. Then wait, me must say, yo, how you stay asleep? I say, me tired. I say, yo, me can't sleep. And other producers out there, I wait to take my space. They must say, yo, I'm going to show you something. It was maybe about almost 4 o'clock. And he taking phone and he called Jordan. 2 ring Jordan and I walk one. I must say, everything good? Just may I bless you up. All right, I hang up. And he called Stephen. Stephen answered. When Stephen answered the phone, we heard Movada in the background recording. And he must say, oh, Stephen, you record the ball. All right, I hang up. So he must say, see it? My rival in a studio record. Stephen up, Jordan up, in call Russian and Russian answer. In call Dan, but Dan, he never get Dan on the phone. And he must see that all of the producers were supposed to be in your rival then. All of them up on a work and you there start drop asleep. And my rival in a studio record and you have to be my producer asleep. Tiffany tell me that, he never, ever have to tell me that again. Never to this day. I just something me break me say and always remember say, yo, me want to sleep. Somebody else out there where I try to get a break, maybe a young producer or someone that is already established, they're up working. If you develop that, somebody I got to take a place.
So I guess then not nice that the rumors of not being treated well by Vybz Kartel is not entirely true then.
No. Because what I always tell people here, if I can tell you 10 bad things what do, I can tell you 50 good when do. So me not go beat him down 100. Me might tell you say, yeah man, alright then Cartel send man on the yard and them thing there. But still me can talk of all the good him do because in all of me say to you and at no time me and him never have a problem dealing with fear. If some money to go collect somewhere for some song, him say me for the money and when me reach back with the money and me give him all of the money. Me I say, alright, I have the boss, you share the money. He must say, no, what me need to do, the money is 50-50, so me if you just give him half and take my half, me not to give him the money to give me back. Because he trust me enough. So me and him never have no problem, no treated and feeling, no, none of that. He just always appreciate to just work harder. And so him stay on top of the game. In January, he started record 20 songs January, he put them in a one folder mark January. February, if you check February folder and see have 7 songs United notes and fall off. So see March, a 40 songs I'm going to put in the folder. So it's like learning from all that. He just showed me say, yo, you have to just always work and always do that. To stay on top of it.
Tell us something that you have take away from it. I know you kind of alluded to it just now to say that wanting him to let like him always at work. We're getting that he was very organized. But you as a youngster, what would you say is the greatest lesson that you have learned being around Vybz Kartel?
The work ethic part time. Like staying on top. Yeah, for just constant. I put out work and not just say it because like quality. Like that, you can't ever take away that from him. He's improved for so much years and still I stay on top of the game and I put so more songs than who they are now. So that only goes to show the type of person. So me just have to adapt that and say, yo, you what? You can't, like, I'm going to try to stay on top and I'm going to be relaxed and gone and my bed and gone, go to go and party and no.
Let's talk about you branching off on your own now. Around, I think it was in 2011, you actually, left the Portmore Empire and you didn't immediately did your solo thing. You teamed up with Corey Todd a bit. Take us during that aspect, that stage, why you left Portmore Empire and the brief teaming up with Corey Todd.
All right. Well, most people might know what happened between myself and Cartel. Really make things go so I am going to live right. And after that, we never really jumped to go back into making music. Same time, because I made so much mistakes at that time. In when we say mistake, in not learning the business. As I explained, me starting out, it was just making music out of the love for it. I said, all right, I gotta really take some time off, try to learn the business more, understand that we can make better decisions. So, I started do some research, read up on royalties, how this go, that go. So, immediately after, it was just learning the business more, and then after that, Quartad was in the whole link with Vybzkartel. Quartad was one of the persons where really helped me to when I left out that part there.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the daggering condom and the street vibes and the vibes,
Mm-hmm.
I was doing the designing. I designed the logo for the condom. I designed the box. I designed the vibes of the label, the box, because I was also making the rhythm, going on the stage shows, playing the tracks, making the artwork, the poster, them, all of that, and me that did that.
Mm-hmm.
So Quartad was the one that said, yo, not nice, but anyway, as it around, like, yeah, the producer for the artist, them. So he was the one that helped, cement that part with Vybzkartel. So after the follow happened between myself and Vybzkartel, Quartad say, yo, you know me a good youth, and say, yo, me never really try to violate the thing. So he gave me some money. I don't remember the exact amount, so I'm not going to tell no lie.
Mm-hmm.
But when he gave me the money, the same time, I buy back a computer. Well, me basically buy back my studio. Remember the first one, I tell you, I get the song themselves from Cartel. What I do, I just buy back the computer, buy back mic, speaker, everything, and start over fresh.
Wow.
So that was really in Quartad, the cousin. So then he just started some business, put out the song. He started his label. So we just really the partner and do some work.
Take us on that path now to where Not Nice. You coming into your own as a producer, and you're forming your Not Nice label. What were some of the challenges that you faced on that journey?
No, well, the label was there. The label has been there for a long time. Say, when the song they put out as Not Nice / Adi Giant. So it was Cartel label and my label. So he never tried to push my label one side to push his thing. It was like a partnership. So it's 50-50. Adi Giant, Not Nice. So after that, me just as my label, I say, all right, then I go really try and build up what myself now. Because after leaving Portmore Empire, like most artists, they really want a record feel. Some of them, Vybzkartel, it have beef with enough of them, so that make them really want a record feel. Some of them want Cartel a friend, so they don't want no premium, so nobody really want to work with me at the time. So I was like, all right, then, how me I go about making that my name out there? So that was where I started working with Alkaline. Because I knew him from school days when he was going to school, and he wanted to work. So I said, all right, then, I'm going to really take up Alkaline and really push him to be the artist. So that is what I do. Make him start working with him, put out Things Me Love, that was his first song. Actually went number one. Him start working with other producers, getting anything out there. So that is where I actually start put myself out there, not being aligned to like, Cartel, bring it to the forefront. No. We just really try to set my brand by itself now, build it up back. All right, Alkaline, in first me I go use now to bring back my name out there and also establishing to the people.
So did you feel concerned any at all during this point, because you know how Gaza fans are and how them stay and their perception, like seeing from Cartel now you're working with Alkaline? Did it matter to you any at all what the naysayers or the chatter that was happening, or you were just focused on bringing your brand to the next level? And how did you deal with that?
Well, my mind, no problem never really did it in the beginning, because not like Alkaline wasn't a threat to Vybzkartel at the time. So the Gaza fans never really, them just say, yeah man, this little tattoo, boy, not nice at work. In Nango go now, in Nango bus. So that was what we were facing. So it's like going out there and I say, start go out in the street with him, yeah, man, tell me, yeah, my artist this, and go stage show, like really bring it out there now. Parring with him for them to say, yeah, man, that youth, yeah, him bad, him going to be the next big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really what me do now to bring, but so it's not like whenever I face no problem with like Gaza fans, no, not at all. That was never no problem.
Mm-hmm. No, not nice. You're your own boss now, and looking at how you started, like a teenager asking mom for a computer, got it, the way you met Vybz Kartel, Portmore Empire, your journey, how everything transpired. Looking back at your journey, what would you say is like one of the biggest lessons that you have learned along the way?
The lesson me learn is just try and know the business going into it. But it's like even with me knowing the business, I don't think I would have done anything any different, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because getting a contract from Vybz Kartel at that stage of my life, even if on the contract I was getting 10% and he was getting 90%, I think I would have still signed it.
Mm-hmm.
Because 10% of something is better than 100% of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like me I say, all right, then I sign me you do this and I sign me you do that. Because if I live on my life again, I would have made the same decisions. But I'm going to say everybody to really take my route. I just tell you, oh, me would have did it.
Mm-hmm.
But people should just learn the business and know what they're getting themselves into. Always try to maintain a brand, keep up a standard, and set yourself out there as a force to be working in the music, whether you're an artist, you're a producer, or whatever. Like, me don't want to settle for be way down the line. Me don't want to come 7th or 8th in a race.
Mm-hmm.
You see me? Just try to come first. Maybe you miss and come 2nd or 3rd, but you're still in a top 10, you still get a medal, you still go up on the podium. Same way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you know, so next time you might come 2nd, you might come 1st. But what? I always try to keep my name up there. You always up on the podium.
No.
Always in a race, always up on the podium.
No, mentorship not nice is very important, and you know, despite your achievements, actually, I find it personally to be refreshing to see you openly and repeatedly pay homage to like legendary producers like Clive Hunt and Tony Kelly. Tell us some of the valuable lessons that you have learned from these prolific producers, despite, you know, eras apart.
See, growing up, wanting to get into music, as I said, I first started trying to make over Tony Kelly and DS Kelly rhythm. And I was so horrible at it that it never sounded like their rhythm, so it started to sound original.
Mm-hmm.
Until last year, working on my album, I actually met Tony Kelly, and like, me never really have that godfather that in the music really try to teach me and show me certain things apart from Vybz Kartel, you know, being an artist, and then meet Tony Kelly and then meeting Clive Hunt, and I realized, yo, they are so much like myself. And really talking to them and then say, yo, yeah, this is what they go through your artist as an artist here, and them I'm grateful. And so it's like me find some set of people where me can relate to. Because talking to an artist, you're going to get different stories than actually talking to seasoned producer what produce most of the hits that you actually grew up on. So Clive Hunt, like, even when I work on a project and nothing, any hours we can, sometimes Ella sleep early, when we can take up my phone and call him. Tony Kelly, we can call Tony, Lenky, like, most of those, them are really in my circle, you know. I know say, I can call and ask for some advice and have a problem with me. Suppose me I didn't already want to me the kick no sound right. And suppose me can call, and so it's good for know say I'm at a stage now me can actually call some people say yo steer me in another direction, because you can't go on like you know everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how much you feel, you know there's somebody who know more than you. So me always have them to can call up and feel with. So, and I would want to reach at a stage where the youth can take up them phone and call me to like how me feel so privileged we can call a Clive Hunter, a call a Tony Kelly, a call a Lenky. No one deal with them can take up them phone and call me too. Ask me for some advice. I have no problem sharing my knowledge with them.
And that in itself is the trajectory for growth and development and nurturing. And sometimes when you look at the industry, that in itself is what's lacking. You mentioned your album King Midas, and I've listened to your album and I listened to tracks like We Are, and it definitely, in my opinion, it puts you in a different category of producers. It shows also your versatility. The track itself is timeless, and simply put, it brilliant. Now, how do you feel about this production in comparison to your other works? Because you'd get more like, it's not rushed, you have time, the thing can marinate. But you tell us how you actually feel about this type of production in comparison to your previous works.
All right, see before I was getting branded as a Gaza producer. Like I only produce Cartel and the Empire, but Vybzkartel never once told me who to record and who not to record. But people just brand it that way, so it's like them feel like you only can produce one kind of music. I can produce gospel. If me get a gospel artist for a I can produce gospel. So it's not like I am stuck there. It's just what I have to work with. So now I am working with Nadia Motherstill. Like the type
brilliant
of
singer
I produce for her is completely different. Chapter and the album, like nobody expect me to do something like that. So it's just whoever me get to work with at the time, me can really get to express myself. There's a lot of artists saying like me never work with enough artists in my business before, and now me kind of get the opportunity to work with some of them. So working with variety of artists, you really get to me can express my versatility more. Like as time go on, I'm working with different kind of artists, and as you say, it's not just I just want to lane to produce.
And that is how important is it for you, Not Nice, to get to that stage where people in the industry will not just view you as a Gaza producer or label you as that, but like you're rounded.
Yeah, me think me past that stage is still where remember, people are always affiliate with Gaza and Vybzkartel, which I have no problem with.
Your foundation.
Like I am ashamed of it, So when we're proud of Cartel, help to set me name out there, working with no artists at all, they really help. Even if you help them to reach somewhere, them also help you in some way, shape, or form. Whether working with a Vybzkartel, or working with Alkaline, or working with Popcorn, or Javinci, whoever I work with, I help them to reach somewhere, but they also help my brand also.
Now, speaking of your brand, Not Nice Records, that's what you're putting out there. You've also signed Javinci and Jafras. What are your plans, basically, for Not Nice Records?
Yeah, Nadia Motherstill.
And Nadia Motherstill, yes. How could I forget her? She's such a fantastic singer.
Well, it's some fantastic work with her.
Awaiting.
Yes, so they are signed out to Not Nice Records, Well, Javinci, only know Javinci from Watch Your Friends album, so my first number one at Javinci. So he's just really trying to get back Javinci in being where it is supposed to be in the music, because sometimes always I try to put out positive music, but sometimes people don't appreciate the positive music that he is putting out, and he now really tries to sing certain things just to please the fans. And always I try to keep it positive, even though him sing some bad man songs and they like it. So he's all around. He can really sing any type of music, but we just really try to get back Javinci name out there. Jafras now, I've signed in Jafras a number of years. He's new, so it takes more work trying to break him as a new talent, because when I signed him, he actually just started, so I have to really try to get him for sound, to have that sound for the people. So it reached a stage now where the people accept him sound, and it's just really to find that big breakout, to send him to the people. Now I don't know. I just signed there last year.